You need to watch this video before you go see the new Cyrano movie. Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel, Joss and Belle, where we talk about everything pop culture. I'm Belle, and today I want to talk about the new movie Cyrano. Cyrano was directed by Joe Wright and stars Peter Dinklage, Haley Bennett, and Kelvin Harrison Jr. It's a musical romantic comedy with music by Aaron Dessner. I'm really looking forward to this movie, but before I go and see it in the theaters, I wanted to do a definitive ranking of all the Cyrano de Bergerac adaptations before I go see this new one. So if it's been a while since you've been in your AP Lit class, let me remind you what Cyrano de Bergerac is. You've probably seen this trope in any romantic comedy. Cyrano de Bergerac was a play from the 1800s France. It was based on a real guy's life, actually, but it's basically the trope where the conventionally unattractive but really smart person helps the himbo character get the object of their mutual desire. It's kind of a love triangle, but usually the Cyrano character is writing letters or speaking for the not so smart person, the dumb person. All the different adaptations have different endings, so there's no spoilers here. A lot of them bend the gender or they bend sexuality. I'm going to be using this tier ranking system, starting with God tier, the best movie I've ever seen, going down to movie night rotation, a movie that's good, maybe I'll watch it more than once, and then down to the once is enough tier rank, speaks for itself, then the Rotten Tomato tier kind of speaks for itself as well, and then literally traumatizing tier, the worst movie I've ever seen. And I'm going to be going in chronological order. So let's get started with the definitive ranking of all the Cyrano de Bergerac adaptations starting now. So the 1950s version stars Jose Ferrer, and as far as I could tell, it was a pretty true adaptation to the stage version. So it's set in the 1800s France. Jose Ferrer plays Cyrano de Bergerac, and he's really smart, really good with wordplay. He's like doing monologues and rhyming his words. He's a good dueler, like it opens with a huge duel scene and there's tons of that, a bit too much, but he has this huge nose, like it's definitely a prosthetic. He's in love with his cousin Roxanne. She's this like traditionally beautiful, like think 1950s movie star, right? She does these longing glances. He goes to tell her that he's in love with her, and she springs it on him that actually she's in love with this new guy, this new soldier named Christian, who has just come to town. So Cyrano obviously backs down. He doesn't show his feelings, and he says he'll help set them up. So he tells Christian that Roxanne likes him. Christian's like, oh, but you have to help me. I'm so dumb. I'm a bumbling fool. And so Cyrano agrees to like help write letters on behalf of Christian so that they can get together. And they get married really quick, spontaneously, with the help of Cyrano talking under the balcony for Christian the whole night, and then Christian gets deployed off to war. The whole time Christian and the army are at war, Cyrano is still writing letters to Roxanne pretending to be Christian. Turns out Roxanne is coming to the front lines to bring them food. Christian finds out that Cyrano has been writing these letters pretending to be him. He's like, dude, you're in love with Roxanne, you have to tell her. And then Christian dies. Cyrano ends up not telling Roxanne that it's been him all along because her husband just died. The years pass. Finally, it comes out. Roxanne finally figures out that Cyrano has been writing these letters the whole time. And then Cyrano dies. And that's the end. I literally finished watching it and I was like, I hope all these adaptations are not as sad. Like, they didn't even get to be together. Everyone died. I think I would put it in the movie night rotation. It was good, really romantic, that classic movie feel. I really, really liked it. If you don't like old movies, it might be in the once is enough category for you, but I really loved this movie. So the next Cyrano de Bergerac adaptation comes from the 1970s, and it's the Brady Bunch. This is in season 4, episode 5 of the Brady Bunch. It's called Cyrano de Brady. They name dropped the play in this episode, actually, just in case you didn't know where the trope was coming from. But basically, the middle brother, Peter, falls in love with one of Jan's new friends at first sight. He does everything wrong, trying to get her attention. He enlists the help of his older brother, Greg, who's a smooth talker. He's good with the girls. Peter, the middle brother, starts writing letters to this new friend, Carrie, with the help of Greg to get the words right. Carrie, of course, loves these letters. They're so romantic and wants to meet up. So Peter goes outside of Carrie's window to talk to her, much like the traditional play. His older brother Greg is in the bushes, like telling him what to say. Carrie comes out, sees Greg, and thinks it's been Greg talking to her the whole time, because obviously she likes Greg more than the middle brother, Peter, unfortunately. So, you know, more things happen. And then at the end, the two youngest, boy and girl, they do the same kind of Cyrano trope to get donuts, that like one of them is talking to the mom while the other is under the counter telling them what to say, like donuts are healthy for you. So it's cute. Overall, I did not like this. I don't think I've ever seen a Brady Bunch episode before this. And don't get me wrong, I love sitcoms. Like that is my genre of TV I will watch over and over. But Brady Bunch, how is this like an iconic TV show? Did they have nothing else to watch in the 70s? This sucked. I hated it. No one could act, not even the parents. It was bad writing. It was not funny. I just did not like this. So I'm giving it the Rotten Tomato tier, and I would not watch it again. The next Cyrano de Bergerac adaptation comes in 1987 with the Steve Martin movie Roxanne. Obviously in the title, you already hear the reference. Throughout the movie, they make a lot of references to the play. Steve Martin does a lot of fencing. It's not with a sword, it's like with a tennis racket. He makes a lot of the same monologue-y type, clever remarks that the original Cyrano does. That was cool to see, having just watched the 1950s version, to watch this movie and catch all those references. Obviously, Steve Martin is comedy gold. He was so good in this, hilarious, just like physical comedy. His timing and everything like that was great. Steve Martin is like the firefighter chief, and Christian is the new firefighter who's coming to their town, and Roxanne is someone who's in their town for the summer, and she's an astronomer. In this version, we get a little bit more technologically advanced. Christian wears a little in-ear where Steve Martin is talking to him through like a police radio or something like that. And that's important because the police info starts coming through the radio, and Christian starts saying it's like a break-in on, you know, whatever street. They do still have the same classic like window bushes scene as well, where Steve Martin is in the dark, his face is concealed, but talking to Roxanne with all his good words, his poetic words. In this adaptation, he does have the big nose again, and I said no spoilers, so I won't spoil anything for you about what happens when Roxanne finds out that it has not been the hot firefighter, but has been Steve Martin the whole time talking to her. It was really interesting to see how beauty standards have changed over the years. So like the hot firefighter and Roxanne is supposed to be really hot. They're just like not the beauty standards we have today in 2022. So it's just interesting how the 80s hot people are so much different than hot people today. Hot people, whatever that means. Overall, I would say it's once is enough kind of movie. I did enjoy it. I laughed a lot. But I don't need to see it again. I get it. Okay, we're jumping all the way to 2009 with this one, the original Gossip Girl, season 2, episode 18. The episode is called The Age of Dissonance. So similar to the original Cyrano de Bergerac, this episode is kind of going meta with a play within a play. The Gossip Girl kids are performing the play Age of Innocence at their high school, and Serena has a crush on the director. But the director is kind of vibing more with Vanessa because Vanessa knows all his movie references and all the directors and stuff like that. So Serena asks Vanessa for help talking to the director. They do the same thing, kind of like the last movie. They put in an in-ear, Vanessa's on the phone talking to Serena, and Serena is saying those words to the director. The director is impressed with Serena. More drama is added when Nate, who's with Vanessa at this point, overhears Vanessa on the phone and thinks she's talking to the actual director for herself, like that she's into the director. So Nate gets jealous. Very fun, very Gossip Girly. You love to see it. For me personally, this adaptation is a movie night rotation. I freaking love Gossip Girl. I watch that over and over and over again. If you're not a Gossip Girl fan, for you, it will probably be Once Is Enough. But it's still a really good episode because it's very meta with what's going on in their lives and the Age of Innocence, and then you sneak in that Cyrano de Bergerac reference. It's just a great episode all around. still in 2009, we have the Katherine Heigl and Gerard Butler rom-com, The Ugly Truth. You have Katherine Heigl playing Abby, who's that 2000s trope of like the high-powered business lady, very high-strung. And then you have Gerard Butler playing Mike, who's kind of like your original Ben Shapiro, Joe Rogan type character. He's really an asshole, misogynistic. He's like a TV personality who gives like romantic advice to women based on what men want. You know, things in the movie push them together. They have to work together now. Abby, who is single, meets a hot new neighbor. Mike says, you just got to do what I say and he'll fall in love with you, right? So she follows his advice, like just to prove him wrong, really, but it actually ends up working. You have the classic makeover scene where he dresses her up and flirts with her. She looks so sexy, he's into it. Then on her first date with the hot neighbor, he's in her ear, on the in-ear, and they go to a baseball game. Comedy ensues. This movie has a masturbation scene to rival Bridgerton. It's hilarious. They do a sexy Latin dance number. Love to see it. All those things combined, for me, it was an unexpected God tier. I loved this movie. The ending is amazing. I won't spoil it for you. So good. Let me just pause right here and remind you to press the like button and go ahead and subscribe for a new video every week talking about movies, books, and everything pop culture. Moving up to 2012, we have the Disney Channel original movie, Let It Shine, which is a musical. And it's about this young guy who is the choir director at his parents' church. His dad is the pastor. So he's kind of more on like the nerdy side. His parents are a little more conservative. They want him to, you know, focus on church and school, but he loves rap. He works at a rap club where they do rap battles and stuff secretly on the down low. His dad doesn't know. He has this best friend who is also really into the rap scene, and they have a mutual friend that they used to go to like kindergarten with who has become famous. She's like a famous pop star now. Her name's Roxy, and she puts on a contest for aspiring new artists. She's like, I want to produce your song, so send me your original songs and whoever wins will get to sing it with me. Obviously, our main character, Cyrus, submits his song, but with his application, he submits a picture of him and his best friend. So when Roxy receives the application, she thinks it's the cuter best friend's song. Cyrus agrees to go along with this. The friend, Christian, gets the credit for the song. What I really liked about this adaptation was that Cyrus helping his friend Christian was a lot more believable than a lot of the other adaptations. A lot of the other ones, you think they'd be more competitive. Why would you help your competitor get the girl you like, right? But in this one, it's his best friend. He wants his song to be heard by everyone. He wants his best friend to be happy. He wants Roxy to be happy because he likes her and she's talented. It just makes more sense. So I really liked that about this adaptation. Their whole Cyrano scene is in the studio. It's kind of backlit so you can't see their faces. He's like talking through the headphones to his friend Christian, telling him what to say, and then he speaks directly to Roxy and sings to her and all this stuff. It's super cute. Loved it. It is your typical Disney movie. It has kind of like the Disney lighting that looks very kind of cheesy, but I really loved the choreography, great choreography throughout. The lyrics for the songs and the raps were surprisingly good. Like, I didn't think Disney would have such hard-hitting raps, but they were really good. The rap battles were cool. For me, it's a once is enough movie. Maybe when I was younger, it would definitely be a movie night rotation movie, but you know, once is enough now. Now that I've talked through some of these other movies, I think I need to change my first ranking. So I think Cyrano de Bergerac from 1950, I think it's a once is enough movie. I don't think I would watch it again. Really good movie, but kind of slow, kind of old. So yeah, I'm moving that one down. I was being too generous in the beginning. And now we move to Bob's Burgers, season 8, episode 11. The episode is called Sleeping with the Frenemy. Tina, the most relatable character in the world, she's trying to earn this merit badge. Her super high maintenance and annoying frenemy Tammy, things happen and she ends up having to stay with Tina and working at the restaurant. So this really cute boy from out of town, a beefot, comes to the restaurant, meets Tammy, thinks she's way more down to earth than she is because she's working at the restaurant, she's looking disheveled, and you know, is interested, asks for her number. Tammy is on a mission to kiss a beefot, a boy from another town, so she starts talking to him. She realizes they don't really have anything in common, passes her phone to Tina, who is weird, just like the BFOT, and they really connect. So she's texting him all night, sending crazy messages. Tammy and the BFOT, who's played by Andy Samberg, go to the Froyo place, and Tina is talking to Tammy through an in-ear the whole time, telling her weird things to say. They do directly reference Cyrano de Bergerac in this episode. When Tina comes clean, her mom says, "Syrah, yes, de Bergerac." Overall, it was a good episode. I would put it as once is enough. I love Bob's Burgers. I do watch that on rotation. It's kind of the only animated show that I like, but it's not their funniest episode. It's not the best episode of Bob's Burgers I've ever watched. And compared to these other Cyrano de Bergerac adaptations, it's not the best either, so once is enough. The next Cyrano de Bergerac adaptation we have is Sierra Burgess is a Loser, which came out on Netflix in 2018. Shannon Purser plays a band geek named Sierra Burgess. There's this hot guy football player who is Noah Centineo. His character likes this hot girl Veronica, so asks for her number. Veronica gives Noah Centineo Sierra's number as a joke, and Sierra Burgess and Noah Centineo's character Jamie start texting. He thinks he's talking to Veronica, and Sierra starts getting feelings for Jamie. The hot girl Veronica is dumped by her college boyfriend for being dumb, and so she asks Sierra for help tutoring her in exchange for not spilling the beans that Sierra is actually the one who's been texting Jamie all along. The only redeeming qualities of this movie are: one, that the two girls become friends. The hot girl Veronica and the band geek Sierra Burgess become friends throughout these shenanigans, and obviously Noah Centineo being the male lead. Ugh, I love him. Who doesn't love him? Those are the only two redeeming qualities. Everything else about this movie is literally traumatizing. It's so creepy. All the other Cyrano adaptations do have an element of being tricked, obviously. That's kind of weird, but somehow they play it off a little bit more innocent. This movie is just weird. Noah Centineo's character, Jamie, gets kissed by Sierra, but he thinks it's Veronica. Like, I don't know, it just felt creepy and icky that the way that happened. So I just didn't like it. Maybe if I was a teenager, I would have liked it better, but for me, 0 stars, 0 to 10, do not recommend. Now for literally one of the best movies I have ever seen. The half of it directed by Alice Wu. It came out on Netflix in 2020 and literally could be the polar opposite of Sierra Burgess is a Loser. It's so heartfelt, challenging, beautifully shot, just one of the best movies I've ever seen, and the best Cyrano de Bergerac adaptation out there by a mile. It stars Leah Lewis as our main heroine, Ellie Chu, who is the daughter of an immigrant. She's shy and quiet. She doesn't really have any friends in their small town. She's really smart. She writes papers for her classmates to make extra money. Her dad and her don't really have a lot of money, so that's what she does to earn some cash. She has a crush on this beautiful girl, Aster, at their school. The popular jock at their school, who is a boy, also has a crush on Aster. So he asks Ellie for help, and Ellie starts writing letters and text messages to Aster on behalf of the popular jock character. One of the reasons this is one of the best Cyrano adaptations is simply for the fact that Ellie, our main character, apologizes to Aster, the girl she has a crush on, for deceiving her, and really like owns up to her action, and that Aster kind of forgives her. They bond, they connect on a different level than in some of these other movies. It's just this really pure depiction of love that you want to see for high schoolers, because it's so pure and awkward and realistic and just like real. It's so good. All the characters are so well written. The popular jock character has a lot of family stuff going on. You get to know more about him, and he grows as a person throughout this movie. It's really about identity, whether that's sexuality or, you know, being a part of a group or being excluded from a group. It's about friendship, it's about loneliness, it's about supporting people you love, or how do you do that even though you yourself are growing and changing. It's just the greatest movie. You have to watch it. And out of any of these, you have to watch the half of it. It's on Netflix, super easy to watch. Definitely in the God tier rank. And the last Cyrano de Bergerac adaptation on our list is Loveheart, which came out last year, 2021, on Netflix. It stars Nina Dobrev, Jimmy O Yang, and Darren Barnett, which stunning cast. I love all these people, so I was really excited for this, and I love Christmas movies anyway. In this adaptation, Nina Dobrev gets on a dating app to find true love. She finally matches with someone who seems great. It's Darren Barnett's beautiful face, and she has a connection with them, telling jokes, and decides at Christmas time that she's just gonna take the plunge. She's gonna fly out to the other side of the country to meet this guy that she has such a connection with, and it turns out to be Jimmy O Yang. Right, so he's our Cyrano, he's our kind of dorky guy. But what I really liked about this movie is Jimmy's character was written so well. He's just funny. Obviously, Jimmy is so hilarious, but you really get to see Jimmy shine as like a romantic lead. He was so attractive, so romantic. Obviously, Nina Dobrev finds out that it's not Darren Barnett that's been texting her, but she still tries to get with him using Jimmy's help. For me, it was a once is enough type movie. It's definitely a holiday movie. It has those tropes and kind of cliches and ending that you expect. So for me, it's a once is enough, but you know, it's seasonal. Maybe I'll watch it again next Christmas as well. But it was really cute. So there you have it, the definitive ranking of all the Cyrano de Bergerac adaptations. Let me know in the comments below how you would rank these movies and TV episodes, and let me know what you think of the new Cyrano movie and how you would rank it on this tier. Don't forget to subscribe for a new video every Tuesday talking more about pop culture, new movies and books that are coming out. Now I gotta go because I'm gonna go watch the new Cyrano movie.